Andrea's on the line.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi. Am I the first one on? Oh, okay. Hey, Verena.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Folks, real quick, who is 312-671-4667?
I believe that's Commissioner. No, that's not Commissioner.
That's Trustee Judy Abraham, 312-671-4667.
Great, thank you, trustee.
Hey, Tom.
You say something, Dave?
Yeah, no, I was just saying hello.
Oh, how you doing?
All right, and yourself?
Another day in the basement.
Another day in the basement.
Month 6.
You're doing well.
How are things going, Dave?
All right, and yourself, trustee?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Who else is here?
Hey, John.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm
I'm
doing good. How
good.
about yourself?
Good.
Hello, trustees.
Hi.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Marina. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to
Good
call,
evening.
our regular board meeting to order at 7:31. I am located in the Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. The village attorney, Jimmy Vasali, is in the chambers with me. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the meeting? Will you please call the roll? I need a pen.
Yes, I will, Madam President. Trustee Jones.
Got it.
Trustee Jones is absent. Trustee Horn.
I'm here.
Trustee Abraham.
Here.
Trustee Senior.
Here.
Trustee Tierney.
Present.
Trustee Miller.
I'm here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank
Can
you.
you all please pause to pledge the allegiance?
Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America
Of America.
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation.
One nation under God.
under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Thank you. Can we please have a moment of silence? Thank you again. Okay, number 2, public comment. Madam President, we received no public comments. I did want to have this disclaimer read. While the meeting is open to the public and public comments are welcome, in light of concerns related to the spread of the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, the meeting will be streaming live online, and the village strongly encourages residents and participants to submit written comments to the village clerk prior to the meeting. Persons will be allowed to make in-person comments if they desire to. However, individuals will be brought into the meeting room one at a time, and all federal, state, and local protocols currently in place to alleviate the spread of COVID-19, including social distancing requirements, will be observed. Again, the village welcomes and encourages your participation in this process and thanks you in advance for your interest in the village's finance and affairs. And again, Mayor, we received no public comments through email.
Thank you.
All right. That being said, item 3, communications. Just wanted to let everyone know that we are moving right along with the census count. The village, as of Friday, stood at 69.9% for self-response. And also on Friday, non-response follow-up has started. That's where the enumerators come out to the addresses of the families that did not respond, knock on your door, and they do an in-person interview. You still have time to avoid interruptions of your dinner and people at your home that you may or may not want there by responding to the census yourself online at www.2020census.gov. Item 3. Item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. We have none. Bringing us to item 5, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $234,757.72.
Motion to
Motion
approve.
to, second,
And properly moved by Trustee Tierney, seconded by Trustee Abraham, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Trustee Abraham, will you please read the warrant list?
yes. All right, our AP warrant list for July 29, 2020. The first vendor is AT&T, $15,724.20. Blue Cross Blue Shield, $165,391.50. Ethel Wilson, $2,500. Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust, $20,470. Lincoln National Life Insurance Company, $7,539.93. Lavelle Connor, $2,500. Sean Howery, $2,500. That gives us a total amount of expenditures over $2,500 at $216,625.63. Our total expenditures is $234,757.72 for a percentage of total at 92%. The funds that are going to be affected are the general fund, $222,796.66. Our water and sewage fund, $11,961.06. The grand total again is $234,757.72. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Trustee Horn,
No questions.
Trustee Jones,
No comment.
Trustee Tierney,
You're on mute.
you're on mute.
No questions. I'll get this right one of these days.
Trustee Senior,
No questions.
Trustee Abraham,
No questions.
Trustee Miller.
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Before I do, please let the record reflect that Trustee Jones did enter to the meeting at 7:36 p.m. Roll call. Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And Madam President, this carries unanimously 6-0.
Thank you.
Next item, old business A. A resolution authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental cost-sharing agreement for the West Regional Enterprise Zone for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Tierney. Madam President?
Thank you. Commissioner Upshaw sent out the requested documents that the trustees had requested. So trustee Horn, you have any questions or concerns?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Jones?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
None, ma'am.
Trustee Senior?
No, I have no questions.
Trustee Miller?
I don't have any questions, but I do appreciate Commissioner Upshaw sending the information. I just want to have a point of clarity here. There's always going to be times that we're going to have conversations and concerns during a meeting. That's the purpose of having an open meeting, to air out anything that we need to bring forth to each other trustee and each other department head. But I do appreciate the diligence that Commissioner Upshaw had with providing the information that was requested. I'm just going to make another point to state that this entire ordinance started in 2018. So a few trustees on this board, I'm pretty sure, weren't here, including myself, to understand why there was such a delay in any movement on it. So I did read through all those documents, but as it should be noted, most of us have other jobs that we attend to every day. So by the time we get off, we're probably involved with family issues or things going on. So not every time are we going to be able to ask a question on a Friday when we get the agenda information. But Dave, thanks for giving me everything I needed.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you. That's
trustee.
it, Trustee Miller? Is it? Okay. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yeah, yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones,
Aye.
trustee Horn,
Abstain.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries 6-0 with the abstention counting as a yes vote. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Item 7, new business. Item A, Village of Broadview resolution of the corporate authority relating to a retirement healthcare funding plan.
Make a motion to table this item until we can get the financials associated with it and a cost impact to an already negative budget.
Can I
But the
mention,
budget is
it
number,
doesn't come out of our budget.
the budget is not in the negative, and
That budget is in a negative.
well, that's your observation, and that's incorrect information that you putting out in the public. So with that being said, the trustees did pass a balanced budget, Trustee Horn. Nevertheless, can I get a second to approve the ordinance, or do you got, or let me just go through it. Can we get a discussion for this?
Need a second to do
I'll
it.
give you a second.
Yeah, I had gave a second already.
Okay, so
Thought there was a second.
there was a motion to table by trustee Horn
Oh, not for a second for that.
and seconded by trustee Miller. Is that correct?
No.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, all in favor of the table, say aye.
Aye.
You got to do a roll call vote.
We do a roll call vote on the table motion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. Here we go. Trustee Jones,
I approve the table.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
No.
trustee Senior,
No.
trustee Tierney,
No.
trustee Miller.
Yes.
Okay, so it's tied to table this, and we don't know when until. Mayor Thompson, can I have your vote to break the tie, please?
No.
Okay, so we are not tabling this. Do we have another motion on the table, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Tierney, seconded by trustee Senior to approve this. Madam President.
Thank you. So for clarity, one thing, this does not come out of the operating budget. So either Chief Tracy Kenny, would you please explain to the trustee what this retirement healthcare funding plan is for the fire department?
Yes, this retirement healthcare funding does not come out of the village budget. This comes out of the paychecks of the firefighters. It is their own contributions to save up retirement funding for health insurance for them upon retirement, as we don't get it. Once we retire, we lose our health insurance. So this is a way of saving for it prior to retirement. So no cost to the village. This is strictly from their paycheck, a percentage that they can put into the savings fund. Anyone have any questions for me?
Trustee Horn?
Are you saying there's no employer contributions at all?
It's just the employees out of their own paycheck. They are taking money and putting aside from this. Nothing coming from the village.
Okay,
This is
thank
their
you.
their own income being set aside.
And this is only applies to the firefighters?
The fire department recently put it into their contract to do this. And just so you know, and I want to make it clear, when we get the agenda on Fridays, you are welcome to call me over a weekend if there's something you want to discuss before a Monday meeting. I will always make myself available to you guys.
Thank you, Trustee Horn. Any other comments?
Okay, so this only applies to the fire department?
It is only the fire department.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Jones?
No comment.
Trustee Senior?
Nothing.
Trustee Abraham?
No comment. Thank you to our fire chief for being available, obviously over the weekend as well as early Monday morning before the meeting. So no questions.
Thank you. Trustee Tierney?
No comment.
Trustee Miller?
Sorry. So again, Fire Chief Kenny, yes, we appreciate you being available. I don't think it's so much about the availability of the department heads. Again, it's about the availability of the trustees to be able to read through the information, as well as ask questions that they need to ask. I know the logic is we want to rush through a meeting and have as much information readily available at the time of the meeting as possible, but sometimes that's just not possible for us. And I don't think everyone is getting that. I tabled it because it seemed like Trustee Horn had some questions and concerns. And so that's why I put the second out there. Reading through the information, yeah, we can do that, but it's 300 pages of documents just about every week. So sometimes it's just not going to happen that we can make educated decisions at the time of the meeting. But thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Senior?
Yes.
Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Abstain.
And Madam President, this carries 6-0 with the abstention counting as a yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next item B, a resolution authorizing and approving the collective bargaining agreement between the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council covering police patrol officers and the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Tierney, seconded by Trustee Jones. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you. Trustee Horn?
Yes, I have a question. Is Mr. Hood on the call?
He is.
Oh. So you're on mute right now, but I have a question. This can apply to Mr. Hood or Director Hicks. The comment was made that we do not have a negative budget. I'm looking at a budget with numbers in red font that reflects a deficit of over $900,000. Can you please help me explain why we keep communicating that it is not a negative budget? Oh, not we, but the mayor keeps communicating that it's not a negative budget.
Sure. What we all have to keep in mind here is that this preliminary budget is assuming the worst.
Is what?
And is assuming the worst, that our tax revenues are going to take drastic hits, and that we don't want to go crazy in spending and plan on spending stuff because 3-4 months down the line, our revenues may evaporate. So what we've done is we've tried to knock it down to the necessities that are there that we know that needed to be done. And then we tried to cut everything else out of the budget. What we're hoping is that we don't have as drastic a revenue decrease. And on top of that, we're expecting to get some reimbursements through the federal and in some cases state assistance on our COVID-related expenses. So if you look at it in the sense that what we passed, we're past the worst case scenario where we're not going to have enough revenues to cover all those expenses. But what we're planning on is that enough positive things will happen. We will get reimbursed for a lot of these expenses that are coming out through, and Tracy helped me out here, I forgot what it was called. There's been federal money really set aside to help municipalities recoup some of the funds that they've spent. We may have additional resources available to us that aren't reflected in the budget, and they weren't reflected in the budget because at the time we weren't sure what was going to happen. And to be honest, today we don't know what's going to happen. It's a very fluid situation, and anything could happen. We could come out with a surplus. We could come out, with a deficit, and it's all driven by what happens to our revenues.
Well, thank you for that response. And that's exactly my point. There's a difference between actualized numbers and budgeted numbers. And regardless of what logic we apply, what hope we have, what's reflected on paper that was passed reflects a negative dollar amount. Yes or no?
That's true.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Jones?
I have no comment.
Trustee Tierney?
Is Chief you going on?
Yes.
Chief, this
Yeah,
is, this pertains strictly to the fire, the police officers, correct? Patrolmen?
Correct.
Doesn't include any dispatchers, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and this has been negotiated back since when it expired in April, I believe, of last year.
April 2019, yes.
Okay, so money's been put out for attorneys to negotiate this contract and get it in place, correct?
Yeah. And I had 2.25% on that budget.
You had that already in the budget?
Yes.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Senior?
I don't have any questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No questions.
Thank you. So, Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones,
Aye.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Tierney,
Yes,
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all, Madam President. This carries 6-0 unanimous. All right. Next item C. A resolution approving the local public agency agreement for federal participation to be entered into by the Village of Broadview and the Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, and for the appropriation of village funds for the purpose of paying for the local agency's share related to the construction of the sidewalk improvements on 15th Street and 13th Street under IDOT project number R74Q691, state job number C-91-122-20, MFT section number 19-00083-00-SW.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Property motion by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Jones. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Horn?
No questions.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Jones?
Oh, I have no
Keep that
comment.
down, man.
Trustee Senior?
No comment.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Tierney?
no comment.
Trustee Miller?
So we're not gonna have Hancock Engineering give us an update on this
Is
resolution?
Chris or Matt on the line?
I am, Mayor. As a matter of fact, I've got Chris should be on the line. I asked him to speak about this specifically, but basically it is capital improvements for the Gold Coast streets that we had earmarked as needs for improvements. So I believe we're going to be using MFT funding. And I'll once again defer that to Hancock Engineering and the finance department. So,
Madam President, I don't believe Hancock is on the line that I can see.
okay, so what is the question specifically?
Trustee Miller.
I didn't have a question. I wanted to have an explanation as we do with every other agenda item or resolution from the department.
Right. So this is approximately a $600,000 project. Okay, that it would include resurfacing from 25th Avenue down to 17th Avenue, Fillmore. It would also include 18th Avenue. Those streets have been mapped out as the high priority streets for this year's capital improvements. So the funding will come from MFT, so it will not impact the general funding. And one of the reasons we wanted to try and expedite this was because of the fact we can possibly get this done before inclement weather hits.
Okay, so for the purpose of what we're voting on now, we're not talking about the Fillmore Street. We're actually talking about the sidewalks on 13th Street and 15th Street.
Oh, you're talking about the safe routes to school. I'm sorry, I don't have an agenda in front of me. Please forgive me, Trustee Miller. I don't have an agenda in front of me. So yeah, that was the Safe Routes to School grant that was applied for, I believe, more than a year ago. And this is basically to get the project started. So construction, a design has been approved by the state. And I believe you guys have before you might have the contract agreement with Hancock to go ahead and execute the construction of this sidewalk. In other words, they'll put it out to bid. The winning bid contractor will then do the pre-con, and in essence, Hancock will provide the construction engineering, which is standard for all of the capital improvement projects that we have done in the village. So.
Okay, so Mayor, this is directed to you now. This is the project that you were working on with the students at Lindop, correct?
No, the project for the students, well, the safe sidewalks was, I believe, prior to you all coming on being trustees.
Okay.
So that was a grant that was awarded prior to you all becoming on. The project that was working on with the students was the raised crosswalks.
Okay, so this is just the sidewalk only. This doesn't reflect into the signage or anything of that nature for the crossing. Okay.
No.
Okay,
So
thanks.
Just add some additional concrete or sidewalk in the area where they're lacking for kids to, again, stay out of the street. So we actually applied for this grant about 9 years ago. We were declined. We were denied the grant. So the police department, Commander Tom Koska took the lead on this, work with Lindop. They reapplied, was successful, and we've been going back and forth with environmental issues, with IDOT and some other things to, just standard, just kind of standard operating procedures to make sure that everything is in order. So we're at the phase now that we can actually bid the project out and have it constructed before the year is out. So.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
You're on mute.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all, Madam President. This carries unanimously 6-0.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next item is D. A resolution authorizing and approving an agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company for the furnishing of professional engineering services related to the Safe Routes to School Sidewalk Improvement Project for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
No, which one was this? Can you, I'm sorry. I don't have
Get
it.
a second first. I had trustee Jones approving.
Second.
Trustee Jones, and then seconded by trustee Senior. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. It's Chris. So, no, he's connecting on now.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining us. So we on item D, the resolution to approve the agreement with Hancock for the furnishing of the professional engineering services. Can you tell the trustees about the agreement?
Yes, so sorry about that. I was watching on YouTube, but could not respond. Director Ames explained item C perfectly at the end. This is just for sidewalks in the gaps between where there's gaps of sidewalks on 15th and 13th by Lindop. Item D is just the engineering for that project. The engineering and the construction are covered 100% by a Safe Routes to School federal grant.
Okay, trustee Horn,
No questions.
trustee Jones,
No comment.
trustee Senior,
No comment.
trustee Abraham,
No questions.
trustee Tierney,
No questions.
trustee Miller.
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones,
Aye.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this carries 6-0 unanimously. Thank you all. Next item, E, a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company for the furnishing of professional engineering services related to certain improvements to Fillmore Street on 25th and 17th Avenues and to 18th Avenue from Roosevelt Road to Harvard Street for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. Chris, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, this is what Director Ames started describing at the beginning. This is the resurfacing, repaving, spot curb and gutter repair, point repairs to the combined sewer. This is this is Fillmore between 25th and 17th, and then also 18th Avenue between Roosevelt Road and Harvard Street. Kind of got it on the fast track so that we can still get it done this year. And as Director Ames explained, this will be paid for utilizing MFT funds.
Thank you. Trustee Horn,
No questions.
trustee Jones,
No comment.
trustee Senior,
No questions.
trustee Abraham,
No questions.
trustee Tierney,
No questions.
trustee Miller.
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones,
Aye.
trustee Horn,
Yes.
trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Tierney,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Madam President, this too carries 6-0 unanimously. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, F. A resolution authorizing and approving a master services agreement and statement of work with Utility Service Company, Inc. for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A properly motion by trustee Miller, seconded by trustee Abraham, I believe. Madam President?
Yes.
Director Ames, you want to talk about this utility service?
Yes, this utility service master agreement is with Suez, and I'm going to defer to Bill Murphy in just a minute. But basically, it is a contract that the village would enter into with this company to repair and repaint and to maintain our water tower for at least the next 15 years. So, Bill, if you don't mind, please explain your program and how we found you and all of that other good stuff.
Sure. Thank you, Director Ames. This is Bill Murphy, Can everyone hear me okay? I just unmuted.
Yes.
We can hear
Great.
you.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity to talk. I will say I learned about the village's water tower about 4 years ago through Hancock Engineering and the agency. We've inspected the tank and we've offered a service. It's typically our standard agreement that we do with municipalities throughout the United States. We've been offering this agreement for since the late 1963, I believe, is when the first maintenance programs were offered. The concept is pretty simple. The village still owns the water tower asset. It still controls its use. What Utility Service and Suez does is provide a service whereby we take care of everything related to the maintenance. So you still own the tank and control it, but we're responsible for all of the maintenance on the water tower. It's the one way that you can hold the contractor accountable long-term for all of the painting, repairs, and the other tasks that go into keeping the water storage tank compliant with EPA, AWWA guidelines. And we do this service for over 2,000 municipalities in the United States, many here in Illinois. There's over 6,000 water towers nationwide that we care for using this business model. And we have a service center, 2 service centers in Illinois. The one that handles painting for water towers is located in New Lenox. We use union workers, pay prevailing wage. So all the workers are local, and basically you have fixed pricing for everything you need on the water tower going forward. I know that was a lot to throw at you, but that's probably as good an introduction as I can do. If you have any questions.
So if I can, Mayor, I'd like to also point out the fact that about every 15 to 20 years, you see municipal water tanks are being repainted. And that's typically because of the descaling and also other rusting issues and again, in our case, cathodic protection. So it basically, protects against the inside of the tank rusting out. So this service agreement not only gets us back to a renewed condition, Class A condition, it maintains that condition for us until the next time that the tank has to be painted. And we also pay into a pool so that we don't have to try and come up with a lump sum of money, whether it's, again, it's about a $1.5 million project. And to have to try and, set that aside is sometimes kind of difficult. Here, you have it automatically been set aside for you. And you also have a maintenance agreement with that. So annually, we have our tank inspected. This company will inspect it. And if in fact there's any deficiencies, they will be obligated to repair it as part of that maintenance agreement and so forth and so on. So I think long-term, what we do is we put the village in a position to where our successors are not scrambling like we were. I came into an office not knowing exactly what was going on with our most critical asset. This gives a documented memorandum for our successors to be able to take care of one of the most important assets that the village owns. So I think from a sustainable, a long-term standpoint, this is a no-brainer. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Director Ames. Trustee Horn?
Just a quick question. This seems like it's very important. It is very important. Was it accounted for, Mr. Hood or Director Hicks? It was, because I don't see a line item for it. What category did it fall under? I can't hear. I'm sorry. You're muted. You're talking, but you're muted.
Tom, you're on.
I got it. I got it unmuted. Let me pull it up. Yes, it is included in this budget.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I can get the details from you later on. I won't hold everybody up, but thank you. That's it.
Trustee Jones?
If you're talking, you're muted too.
Trustee Jones? Trustee
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me? No, somehow I got muted. I don't know how that happened, but no, what I was saying was, this has long been needed. I'm glad you guys are here. I think it's something that's absolutely positively necessary and critical to the sustenance of our water infrastructure. And kudos to Director Ames and our engineer for finding these guys. I think it's very important, and I'm glad they're here, regardless of the cost. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No, I'm just glad that it's getting done because obviously it's really needed. It's very important. So that's it.
Okay. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
So a few financial questions for me too. Looking at the contract, it says the first 3 years, the fees are $585,000 a year. And then year 4, contract year 4 is $97,000. So are we paying for 15 years within 4 years, or is it going to be $97,000 a year after the first 3 years?
Director Hood, you want to talk about the?
Sure, and Bill can jump in here too if he wants, but it is the 97 is the ongoing yearly commitment. Those first 3 years, I'm assuming that's to pay for the current work, and then we're putting that 97,000 a year into this, so that 10, 15 years when it has to be done again, we've already prepaid it essentially.
Is
that a good description, Bill?
Yep.
That's correct. The first 3 years, it covers the baseline renovation to restore the tank to a baseline condition. And then in year 4, that payment of just under 100 grand goes on yearly. It's something that the village, you have the option to cancel it on a yearly basis if we're not doing our job. And what it does is it's a flattening of the budget long-term. So in the contract that you have, we are going to repaint the exterior not to exceed 12 years. If it starts having problems in year 5, we're going to come and fix it. And then we're going to do a proactive repaint prior to the end of year 12. And that's what that yearly annual fee goes towards. So you no longer have a big budget spike like you would in the beginning here. And what we've done is we've spread it over 3 years. So that money that we're going to earn in year 1, you will pay it to us over 3 years, which gives you a lot more protection. And then going forward, you are paying proactively for the next paint job, but on an annual basis, you also are receiving the inspections and any maintenance services that are necessary along with that. And we do the washouts as well. All the engineering's covered with respect to take care of the tank. So you've got a full program to take care of the tank going forward now, and no big payments in the future, other than that annual fee, which is large, of course, but.
Okay, so Director Hood, I'm still directing this back toward you. Is it $585,000 a year for the first 3 years, or is the 585 just a one payment and that covers the first 3 years?
You're talking on mute.
It's like I want to touch it.
It's because the kids keep running up and yelling. That's why I keep trying to keep them out of the conversation here. No, it is for the first 3 years. It is the 500 and is it the same each year, Bill? I'd have to pull it up.
Yes, it's a 3-year even spread.
Yeah.
585, 293 for 3 years. Then it drops to 97,086.
Right.
97 and it's tied into the CCI, the construction index, okay?
Right.
So that being said, we couldn't tie it into the CPI.
Right.
We didn't want to leave it open-ended like we did our initial first negotiated contract with Groot that stipulated, a minimum and a maximum, and not necessarily, always being below that minimum, so to speak. So this is a direct reflection of the construction industry, direct material and labor costs. So annually, that may go up according to, what we looked at for the last 5 or 6 years, probably about 4%, on an annual basis. But that is budgeted for. And if I'm not mistaken, we did do the water rate increase in anticipation that we would have to shore up some of our water fund accounts for this project. That was forecasted. So is there anything else that I can help answer at this time, Trustee Miller?
No.
That's all you have, Trustee Miller?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can, Madam President. Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
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 Trustee Tierney?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
And Madam President, this passes 6-0. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, next item 9. Applications for the authority to expend funds. We have none. Bringing us to item 10, Village Clerk's report. I don't have any report at this time, Madam President, which brings us to item 11, Village President, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. Mr. Clerk, did you give out where we are with the census?
I did. To recap, is 69.9%, and non-response follow-up has started.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So good evening, everyone. First, I would like to say that I'm happy to announce that we received a letter from the Department of Justice congratulating us on $250,000 in federal funds to hire 2 officers in the Broadview Police Department. Thank you, Chief Uglin and your staff for successfully securing these grant funding. Also, COVID-19, the funding that we will receive from Cook County, the department heads and I will be putting a budget together to present to the Board of Trustees as we move forward. The finance team have created a line item just for COVID-related expenses so that we're able to identify where those expenses are allocated to. So we intend to submit our letter of intent to the county for the full amount of $489,935.36 to assist the families of Broadview. On April 23rd, 2020, 185 were tested for COVID-19, 49 tested positive. And as of August 2nd, 1,521 were tested and 206 tested positive. As of August 2nd, we've had a total of 6 deaths in the village of Broadview. We must continue to stand together and keep Broadview healthy. Please wear your face mask in all public settings. Wash your hands regularly. Do not touch your face. If you follow the protocol, this should keep us pretty healthy. Biking with the mayor. So every Sunday, weather permitting, we will meet up at 17th and 14th at 9 a.m. and start riding our bikes promptly at 9:05. It's a 1 hour through the 4. So we had our first bike run on this past weekend, and it was pretty successful with the residents coming in to ride bikes. So I was happy about that. For the past 13 weeks, my office have partnered with PLCCA and World Vision for food distribution. And we delivered over 200 boxes of food to the seniors and veterans in Broadview. I would like to thank PLCCA and World Vision, Greg Buchanan and Charisma Robinson, and the administration for working with my office to coordinate and deliver the items to the community. This Saturday, the Broadview Food Pantry and Broadview Park District will be passing out food to the community for their second COVID-19 food giveaway. The Village of Broadview will be attending and passing out face masks to remind people to stay healthy and wear your face mask in public settings and reminding people to take the census. So we're happy that the community is coming together as it relates to making sure that the families in Broadview are taken care of and we're in position to pass out face masks. I know earlier Trustee Miller has stated that we rush through the meetings, and our intent is never to rush through the meetings to get things done. And if it's something that you know that you're not going to be prepared for, my only ask of any trustee is just to give us, you know, if you want to table it or get your question answers because you don't have time. We do understand that the trustees do have families. The trustees do work a job. This is a part-time position for them, and we respect their time. And sometimes the legislation, it is multiple pages. When I look at it, it's 300 pages. So I can imagine that that could be taxing on someone. So if you feel that we need to table something, just reach out to the department head and they'll be able to assist you with that, and we know how to move forward. As it relates to the budget that Trustee Horn is so adamant about being in a deficit, and Director Hood confirming the negative numbers, as we know with a budget the size of our budget, the deficit takes into consideration transfers that may or may not take place. So that's number one. When you look at a balanced budget, you're looking at revenue meeting our expenses. So when I say we have a balanced budget, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We look at our revenues and if it meets our expenses, and that's what this budget does. The budget is a deficit because of the transfers that are going out from the general fund to other funds. So when transfers are paid out of the fund balance, you're going to have these types of things. So I just encourage the trustees. I encourage the trustees and all of the residents, because we're very transparent in our financials. I made a commitment to this community that we will be fiscal responsible. And so I just want to say, if you have any issues or concerns or as it relates to the information being exhibited that's non-factual, please reach out to our finance director, Tim Hicks, or to the finance Tom Hood. They will be able to explain what the differences are as it relates to a balanced budget versus an assumption of because someone doesn't understand what the budget is.
Understand. I do understand, so don't say that.
You don't have the floor.
I don't have to.
So with that being said, I would like to say, Marquita Trotter, you see Marquita Trotter on our Zoom call. She is one of the attorneys with the Delgado Law Group. And I asked her to participate on this Zoom call because I think it's important that we all recognize who writes our legislation for us. So Marquita, I just personally want to say thank you for writing our legislation. I think you do an outstanding job. I'm really impressed with the Delgado Law Group as it relates to putting women in position and being diverse in their firm. So thank you. That means a lot to me. I work really hard with the partner attorneys, and we talk about diversity as it relates to making sure that minorities are in position in legal aspects. And then we do one thing that I know that's for sure and for certain, there are no African-American municipal law firms. And so we want our law firms to be proactive in the teams that they bring on to service the village of Broadview. So thank you, Marquita, for doing such a good job in legislation for us. So with that being said, I just want to say good night, God bless you, and can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Jones, seconded by Trustee Tierney. I'm going to take a roll call to adjourn. Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Abraham. Trustee Abraham. You're on mute. I'll come back to Trustee Abraham. Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Tierney.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Finally, Trustee Abraham.
Yes, somebody keeps muting me. Now it said I got a message, I'm unmuted.
It's okay.
Yes, to adjourn.
We are hereby adjourned at 8:22 p.m. Thank you all. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Have a good
Good
night.
night.